Question: how did that Shaft sequel slash remake slash reboot that came out earlier this year do? Yeah, not that hot. Or how about that Superfly remake that happened? I think that was in 2018. Didn't that bomb as well? Yeah, you're going for a third one here, huh, Hollyweird? This is coming to us from Geek Tyrant, an outlet whose credibility I cannot speak for or deny, but when it comes to the pure laziness that's been floating around Hollywood for the better part of 2 decades now, I'm I'm positive that this is a real thing. Warner Brothers is developing a remake of the 1991 gangster film New Jack City. There you see Mario Van Peebles, Judd Nelson, Ice-T, and that half Asian guy that, honestly, do you even remember him in the movie? I think Ice-T like spazzed on him twice, and that was it. It's been a while since I watched New Jack City. Fantastic film. Still one of my favorite, not Mario Van Peebles, but Wesley Snipes performances ever, man. The old guy that kills him at the end. Spoiler alert, right? He's going on to have like a really fantastic career. It's a really good, well-made film with tons of interesting music, performances by Alan Payne that really stuck out, as well as the Stutter Man. You know, like, he's been in a lot of stuff too. The guy that played Stutter Man was in a lot of stuff too. I just can't remember his name. He was in Sister Act. He was in Sister Act either 1 or 2. I think it was 1. Oh man, but either ways, let's get into this article because Warner Brothers is making another fight. Like, yo, like, I mean, I guess you could just throw money at this type of stuff, even though it just hasn't been working when you try to update and modernize, throwback films, particularly blaxploitation films. It just, like, the only person I could probably see pulling something like that off is Tarantino, but that's because it'll exist in his own little universe over there. But to try and equate or, bring the issues of, the like early 90s, late 80s, early 90s New York City to what New York City is now is, it doesn't seem as if it can fit well. But let's get into this. Warner Brothers is looking to produce another remake, and this one will be of the 1991 neo-noir gangster film New Jack City. The remake is being written by Snowfall actor and filmmaker Malcolm M. Mays. The original film was directed by Mario Van Peebles and had a great cast that included Wesley Snipes, Ice-T, Chris Rock, Flavor Flav, Alan Payne. Okay, really? I'll give you Chris Rock, but Flavor Flav was literally in that movie for 10 seconds, okay? Yo, what up? Like, that's it. When they was walking into the club, Flavor Flav was playing Hype Man, and all you see is Flavor Flav. Yo, what up, Nino? How's it going, bro? That's it. Why are you billing him in this, like in this article? That's very strange. Alan Payne, Judd Nelson, and Peebles. In case you've never seen the film, Snipes plays arrogant New York City drug lord Nino Brown during the 1980s crack epidemic. I mean, what are they going to do? Use opioids now? Ice-T portrayed Scotty Appleton, a detective who goes undercover in Nino's gang, the Cash Money Brothers, CMB, to bring down the drug lord for taking the life of his mother. What? Okay, that's a little. He didn't find out that he was the one that killed his mom until like the end of the movie. So what are you talking about? Like he figures it out when they on that rooftop talking, and he goes, I just went up to this school teacher and blew her brains out when I was high on PCP. They had already started to bond. That wasn't his initial reasoning for going after Nino Brown. His initial reasoning was because the crack epidemic was destroying communities and stuff like that, and he saw him as the culprit instead of looking at the grander scheme of how this would turn these communities into what they've become. And just check out any of my other videos if you want me to get into the plight of urban America. This is about New Jack City. I am digressing. Let's go. Rock was Pookie Benny Robinson, a former stick-up kid who became homeless and poor after Appleton shoots him in the ankle. Pookie becomes a crack addict and eventually a police informant and infiltrates the Cash Money Brothers. This is the official synopsis for the original movie. Yeah, because the one that you're given, it just doesn't like. I mean, yo, he was a stick up kid that became a basehead. But for real, like as far as him getting shot, like I mean, it didn't really matter. He was on his way because he was a terrible stick up kid. Drug tycoon Nino Brown and his minions, known collectively as the Crash Money Brothers, have rapidly risen to the top of New York City narcotics trade. Under Nino's heartless leadership, the drug operation has grown into a multi-million-dollar empire. Scotty, Ice-T, and Nick, Judd Nelson, two police officers who know their way around the streets of Harlem, aim to bring Nino and his cohorts down. To do so, though, they'll have to play by Nino's rules and go undercover. I'm not sure why Warner Brothers feels that New Jack City needs to be remade. Well, money. The original film was good enough. And honestly, the time, like that's the thing. If you're gonna make films, make films of the time. That's how they end up becoming timeless, as opposed to, oh yeah, let's just take this thing that was already done and there's a bit of nostalgia to it. Not enough nostalgia. As much as I love the original Superfly, as much as I love the original Shaft, I don't watch the remakes or anything like, anybody else's idea of the characters or anybody else's expansion of the world. It's one of the reasons why the Star Wars thing isn't going over as well as everyone thinks it is, because you have people who didn't create the world trying to add on to the world, and it's not the same thing. It's not the same flavor, and that's exactly the issue with damn near all of these remakes. I mean, there's been a few exceptions, I'm not even going to lie, but for the most part, I mean, the story that was told is a story that's told. Tell us new stories, or tell us different stories. Give us new characters, because that's really, like, it's but so many stories to be told and so many ways to tell them, but you can't give us better and different and interesting characters, which many of these stories fail to do. I mean, these stories be terrible. These movies be terrible from writing on up, and writing is the most important thing. Because if it's not good dialogue, it's not a good plot, it's not good, character interactions, then who gives a shit about any of the rest of it, right? No director is attached to the remake yet, but Bill Gruber, A Star Is Born, is producing along with the film's original producer, Doug McHenry. Okay, well, I'm all right with that. Is Mario Van Peebles, anybody else involved? That'd be interesting, but still, as far as the time and the era in which New York was just palpable and malleable to such a kingpin in such a manner is long gone. So once again, you got a movie studio with a property, with an IP, that's an intellectual property, and they're like, okay, well, we can milk a couple of dollars out of here. If we spend $100 million on the movie, and it makes $150 million, I guess we can call it a day, but, they always trying to knock shit out the park, So, like, it's a little ridiculous. But either ways, that's it for this one. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss it a like. Dislike, yeah, go ahead, do that too. I'm not scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring, and YouTube and BitChute didn't like. They don't like me like that. I don't care. And speak. Let me know what you think in the comments. I mean, what would you like to see remade? Because here's the deal. I think that there are plenty of IPs out there that lend themselves to being remade. Things that that may not have initially caught on the first time. Like, if you made a good film, I don't see the point in remaking a good film or, rehashing a familiar concept. But if it was a film that, it didn't do very well at the box office, maybe it has a little cult thing now, but it didn't do very well at the box office, and you feel as if, hey, if we tweak it in a few places, it can really, we can really knock it out and get this this film story and message out, then I'm more for that. When it comes to New Jack City, they knocked it out the park the first time. It doesn't have to be done again. It's just is a complete lack of originality. But maybe you feel differently. Maybe you think, oh man, this is great, I'd love to see that. Who would they get to play Nino Brown? I don't even know. But if whatever you think, let me know in the comments, and until the next one.